Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we are talking about the brand new Chantecaille spring release. This is the Butterfly collection. But before we go any further, let's take a second to grab our iced coffee or a hot coffee. Let's take a sip and let's get started. As many of you know, I now have an online beauty consulting service. This is where you and I chat virtually about your beauty concerns. Whether you're looking for help picking the right shades of blush and lipstick and eyeshadow to match together, or if you're looking for some advice on your current skincare routine, the bonus of using my services versus going into a store is I don't work for any brand in particular, so I will just give you my unbiased opinion and advice on whatever concerns you might have. So if you want to make an appointment, please click the link in the description box down below. So the Chantecaille spring release, the beautiful butterfly collection. So I picked up mine through the Holt Renfrew website. So here in Canada, I think Holt Renfrew is the only available place to shop for Chantecaille. I will go ahead and provide links for different retailers according to different geographical regions. So I will do links for Canada, the US, and international as well. These are affiliate links, but these are there to help you sort out which retailers do in fact sell Chantecaille. So I did go through my usual sales associate, Jessica. She is fantastic. She's at the Holt Renfrew location here in Montreal. Her and her coworker, Eric, are fantastic. They're lovely people. So if you live in the region or if you live in Canada, I would highly recommend contacting them and going through them to make your purchases, because it's kind of nice to have a human touch when you make these purchases online, and they can give you swatches and maybe some samples if they have any at the counter. So if you want to reach out to them, I will put their information for their Instagram accounts in the description box as well. So let's just go ahead and give a brief rundown of the collection and the items available. So the Butterfly collection, which supports the Xerces Society, protects butterflies and other pollinators. The limited edition collection starts with the Butterfly Quartet, 4 shades inspired by the brilliant hues and shimmer of butterfly wings. The satin, shimmer, and chrome pearl formulas mix to create beautifully defined looks. There are also 3 new lip cheeks. There's the warm and wearable Peach Blossom, a rich nude Hyssop, and a neutral pink Clover. Infused with hydrating hyaluronic acid, the lips will feel incredibly soft and nourished. Chantecaille's donations will help restore more than 40 acres of native habitat for butterflies and other pollinators. So that is the rundown on that. Let's talk about what I actually purchased. Now, last year with the Hummingbird collection, there were 2 eyeshadow palettes to choose from. I picked up the cool toned one, but this year with the Butterfly release, there was only 1 eyeshadow palette to choose from. So in this palette, I would definitely say it leans a little bit more warm toned. Just overall, there is just like a warmer hue. You do get a nice neutral warm tone satin finish shadow here, but then you also get this pearlescent chrome shadow that has a bit of green to it, and honestly, I think it's so breathtaking. I really hope that the camera does it justice, because in person it's so stunning. And then you also have a more neutral, slightly pink satin shade here as well. And then the last color here does have a hint of brown and also purple mixed in as well. This one I would say is like a satin shimmer. And I think depending on the skin tone, it might turn a bit more purple or a bit more brown. So this is the only color in the palette that I would say doesn't read as like completely warm tone, but overall, I think this palette is warm toned. And then the Lip Chic in Peach Blossom just looks like a really nice warm peach. I think it's going to be a nice everyday nude, but I'll have to see how it wears with my natural lip color as well. Now, I think the best way to judge this stunning palette is just to go ahead and use it today and create a tutorial. At the end of the video, I'll do some swatches side by side to some other Chantecaille palettes that I have. I'm going to start off by going into the light color here on top with a big fluffy brush, and I'm just going to place this in the crease here. This shade is definitely a nice satin finish. It's not too glittery, and I would say it's a nice neutral. Maybe leaning more on the warmer side, but like not overly warm, just slightly warm. And now I'm going into this lighter peachy color here, and I'm gonna place this all over the mobile lid. I'm going to try to use up all the colors today, but if you're new to my channel, whenever I get a collection, I will create several different looks with the same items. So if you're not subscribed already, I would highly recommend that you subscribe, because if you have these products here, you will learn several different ways to use them. So this light peachy color here, I think does turn a little bit cool, but not too much. It's like kind of a neutral peach. It's not too pinky on the lid here. I would almost say it's more of a neutral peach color. I think if you're just like running out the door, this would be a good shade to just put on the lid, because it looks like it's brightening the eyes too at the same time. Okay, now let's go into this darker color here. I am going to try to rein in my extra jean. I'm going to try to not make this a smoky eye, even though I often do that. So what I'm going to do is going into this darker shade here. I'm just going to place it in the outer corner here. Now I am noticing some fallout here with this darker color, but that's okay. There's a reason why we do our eyes first. And then taking a little bit of that darker shade and just blending it on the bottom lashes here as well. So this is a darker color, but it's not super dark. I think if you're maybe a little bit shy when it comes to darker colors, I think this will be nice for you, because it's not too intense. Like, as you can see, it is darker, but it's not super, super dark. So just taking a clean blending brush, I'm just taking a little bit of that darker color in the crease here. I would say that the darker color is a satin shimmery color. I think it's more shimmery than the first two colors that I used. The texture is a little bit different. And now what I'm going to do is, taking a finger, I'm going to dip into this stunning green shade over here, this beautiful like chrome pearlescent shade. I think will work best with the finger. So I'm just going to go ahead and just swipe this on the inner corner here. Ooh, okay, so I'm kind of placing it more in the center. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh, it's giving me this like green pearlescence. Oh, I think it's my favorite shade in the palette. Not that shocking. Okay, this is absolutely stunning. However, the fallout is not stunning. So I'm going to go ahead and use a sample here of the Stress Repair Concentrate, and I'm putting some on the back of a Q-tip. If you put some eye cream on a Q-tip, you will not be tugging away at the delicate skin under your eye, and you won't be drying it out with eye makeup remover anyway. That is much better. And I'm going to go into some eyeliner. I have the Chantecaille Luster Glide eyeliner in Jasper. And I'm going to focus it more on the outside as well, just to keep the dark color on the outside. Essentially what I did is I took the liner, but I stopped before I got to the green eyeshadow. And let's go into a bit of mascara to complete the eye look. I'm going into my Chantecaille Fossil Longest Lash Mascara in black. Now for the base, let's go ahead and be a little bit extra. I mean, how shocking, I know. Let's go into the Chantecaille Rose de Mai water. This is like a setting spray, a toner, a face mist. It can be whatever you want it to be. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this before I apply my foundation. It can also double as aromatherapy. You know, mid-afternoon, you're kind of stressed, you're bogged down with work. You can just go ahead and like mist this liberally as aromatherapy. Just take like a few deep breaths, like, and then you just wind down a little bit. So for the foundation, I'm going into my Future Skin Gel Foundation in the shade Alabaster. This is the most interesting part of the video to cut to because this is when I look like Jackson Pollock. So let's just go ahead and buff this in. This is definitely a your skin but better foundation. I like when I can still see freckles or beauty marks, whatever you want to call them. I don't really enjoy foundations that make me look and feel like I'm wearing a mask. For reference, this is the Refer brush number 17, but all of the brushes used will be in the description box, so if you want to find out what I was using earlier, it's all listed below. Now I'm going into my Real Skin Plus eye and face stick just to correct a little bit more. This is definitely not necessary and not something I do like every day, but sometimes you just feel like being extra. And then for the concealer, I'm going into my Camouflage Le Stylo Correcteur pen in the shade 3. I always let my concealer sit for a few seconds, maybe a minute before I blend it in. I just find you get so much more coverage this way. So if you can afford the time, apply the concealer and then just like maybe finish your coffee or something and then blend it in. You'll see that it offers more coverage. And I do this to every concealer that I own, even like my very favorite concealer, the Clé de Peau one. I always let it sit for like a minute before I blend it in. I just find it's nicer that way. Now I'm going back into my mascara just to add a little bit more on the bottom lashes here. Now let's go ahead and set my face a little bit. So let's go into this stunning Hummingbird face powder here. So this face powder will in fact be back this spring and they will be adding new colors. I saw the new packaging. The packaging will be different, but it's really, really pretty. Let's just go in pretty liberally just to set the whole face. This is like a really nice, soft, blurring powder. It doesn't feel too heavy, it doesn't feel like cakey, it doesn't crease or dry out, it's just like a really nice powder. So for the blush, I'm going into my liquid Chic Gelée. This is a liquid gel blush in the shade of Vibrant. So I just put some on the back of my hand and then I blend it out and then I apply. It's like a nice vibrant raspberry color. I think with this color here, it's quite opaque, so a little bit goes a long way. Last year, I tried to pan this blush. I tried to use it up. I was absolutely not successful. I mean, look at this. It's still completely full. This is definitely an investment blush. You barely use any, and you get so much color payoff. And then I'm going into this beautiful liquid Lumière face illuminator, and I have the shade called Brilliance. For this liquid highlighter, I essentially do the exact same thing. I put some on the back of my hand and then I blend it out. And now let's go into this beautiful lip chic in the shade Peach Blossom. This is a really nice peachy nude. I wouldn't say it's overly cool toned or overly warm. It's kind of a nice neutral, but it's definitely a nice peach. I think it goes really well with this entire look here. Okay, let's give some reviews and then some swatches afterwards. So overall, I really like this palette here. It does remind me a lot of the quality and texture of the Hummingbird Quartet from last year. I think if you enjoy that type of formula, you definitely will also like this new palette here. Something interesting that I noticed is these two light colors here Formula-wise, they remind me of the Safari Trio. Not necessarily in color whatsoever, but just the texture. It gives me this like soft satin finish, which this reminds me of right here. I think this beautiful pearlescent chrome color here reminds me closest vaguely to the luminescent eye shades. These ones are just like so blinding and kind of give a metallic finish. I think this green pearlescent shade is sort of similar to that, but that being said, it's not exactly the same formula as these eyeshadows here. If I were to do a comparison with the Butterfly palette versus the cool toned Hummingbird palette, I would say that this one here is much more neutral and wearable. Yes, you do have that funky green color, but you don't get such intense deep dark colors. Like this one here is very plummy. You have that super dark color, which actually does get quite dark. With this one here, it's, I think, more wearable, more easy for every day. I don't think that you have to be an expert to figure out how to wear this because it's just really easy. Like the colors all really blend in together. They blend together quite nicely. So I think that this one here is perhaps more user-friendly. There might be some people who are disappointed that this color here doesn't get super dark, but I personally don't mind. It's kind of nice to have a lighter eye look. I would recommend just maybe going in heavier with the eyeliner to make it more intense. Let's go ahead and compare the lip cheek here. So this one here, Peach Blossom, is next to Honeysuckle, which came out last year. So Honeysuckle is much more cool toned. It almost looks like night and day when they're compared next to each other. Yes, they're beautiful nudes, but definitely one is more warm and one is more cool. This lip cheek formula is the exact same as every other lip cheek out there. They come out with so many different hues. Oftentimes they're very nudie and natural. And I think this one here, I really like this peach undertone. I think it's starting to turn slightly warm on me, which I don't mind whatsoever. So this eye quartet is marked as limited edition. However, the lip cheek is not. So I think the lip cheeks are here to stay. There are two other colors to choose from. They both look really pretty. It's just a question of like, what do you want to collect? So overall, I am really happy with this purchase. When I first saw the promo photos for this palette here, I just thought, great, another neutral warm tone palette. But now that I'm playing with it, I think it's actually really nice. And for me, the absolute kicker is that stunning green shade. It completely won me over 100%. And I think this lip cheek here is really nice. I mean, the lip cheeks in general are nice. It's just like this super creamy, buttery, hydrating lipstick with lots of pigment. This nice peachy color that's starting to turn a bit more warm on me is really lovely. I'm glad I have it. I think it works really nicely with this whole look here. Okay, so what do you guys think? Leave a comment down below letting me know what your thoughts are on this collection. Are you picking it up? Are you hesitating? Have you already ordered it? I think on the US Chantecaille site you can do pre-orders already, and I believe the shipping starts on February 1st. So just leave a comment down below, sound off. And for those of you who love the Chantecaille Rosewater here, this face mist, keep your eyes open because there may be something added to the face mist family. Just saying. Before I go, I completely forgot we must add a fragrance to complete our makeup look. I'm going into the Chantecaille Derby Rose perfume. This is a really lovely citrusy fragrance. It's citrusy without being green. It doesn't smell green or like grass. It smells like lemons, maybe a hint of grapefruit. It smells fresh and vibrant. It also smells slightly fruity, like maybe a raspberry or something. It smells light and bubbly and fresh. I think it's a beautiful fragrance for the spring, and obviously lots of rose, lots of Derby rose. It's a nice fragrance. Okay, this is it. This is the complete finished look. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the swatches. I hope my comparisons can help you out. If I can think of any other eyeshadows that might look similar to these, I'll be sure to include these in the video. But yeah, that is today's video. Thank you all so much for stopping by. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.